Quita, aka Blasian Quita. Welcome to the stream and welcome to Sin TV, standing for Smart Intelligent News. Guys, have you noticed something? I don't know, a little bit different. I don't have a headset on. Yeah! I'm so excited, guys. Like, I'm letting my hair breathe and let it moisturize, you know what I mean? All right, I digress. So, yeah, so what I'm using now for my audio is the Blue microphone. It's known as the USB Snowball microphone. So if you can hear me loud and clear when you come into chat, let me know. Guys, today we are playing the game of all games, the inhaler of all inhalers, the nerdum of all nerdum. Today we are playing Neverwinter. It was recommended by a friend of mine to play this game, so I said, you know what, let's give it a shot, let's give it a try. And I just, the headset I'll have on, maybe when I'm playing more offline with my friends and stuff, but I am gonna try this this wireless, even though it's a USB, but we're going to try it this way and see what you guys think. But yeah, now you can see more of my face and sexy body. So you can see all my sexiness and all that. So, all right. So, guys, let's get into some Riot Talk. I have amazing news for you. Okay, so this is what ended up happening. Boots, the company I was telling you about that offers amazing skincare and beauty stuff, and it's like actually affordable. Some of their stuff like number 7 can get a little bit more in the higher end range, but it does not matter because they actually sent me a response and they helped me to find products that are paraben free and will work for my newly found sensitive skin. So I am really excited about that. I'm sorry, guys. I'm running late with the stream today. I know Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, you'll see me here at 3 p.m. Central Time. Also, make sure to check your time zone so you can make sure you can catch me while I'm live. But then on top of that, Thursdays, I'm going to be switching over to YouTube Gaming because so many people want me to stream on there as well. So I will make sure that I stream on there as well. But guys, I am so excited for this new format. Also, I got to give a shout out to Elgato Gaming. They were so nice to favor, actually like my comment that I made, because for those of you, if you do have an Elgato game capture, so what this is for us non-geeky inhaler people is the Elgato game capture is a device about maybe this big and like about that thin, and what you do is you plug it into your computer, plug it into the input of your TV, and what it does is it actually allows you to record your gameplay. But some people like myself, if you have an older game system, I don't have the HD 60 model, I have the previous model to that. What it allows me to do is that's how I'm able to game and play my PS2 games. So we got Harvey Birdman coming up, Neverwinter. I'm keeping Swordsman online because I really enjoyed that. And I have Skyrim. I actually got Skyrim. Okay. And then on top of that, I also have Fallout New Vegas because I want to find out what the big deal is about all these Fallout games. But I feel so naked without my headset, but dang, I really, really like this new format here. So if you guys want me to turn down the volume or anything like that, let me know. But guys, I gotta catch you up with everything. Our juicy topic of today is probably another hot button topic that all of us nerds, geeks, freaks, and normal people freak out about every doggone time. And what I'm talking about, is it more affordable to game on a gaming console such as the PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, etc.? Or is it cheaper in the long run to game on a gaming PC? So I found an article in regards to that. So it is going to be interesting, my friends, how this is going to go. So let's do this, guys. Without further ado, our game of the day is Neverwinter. And for those of you who are not familiar with Neverwinter, you guys know Dungeons and Dragons. It's awesome. So Neverwinter is a Dungeons and Dragons free-to-play, massively multiplayer online, so MMORPG, for Windows. It was developed by Cryptic Studios and was released on June 20th of 2013. Based in the Forgotten Realms city of Neverwinter, the game was originally scheduled to be released as a cross-media event, coinciding with the release of a series of 4 books by fantasy author, who's one of my favorite authors in the whole wide world, R.L. Salvatore, and a tabletop game from Wizards of the Coast. Announced on August 23rd of 2010, Neverwinter is a standalone game and not part of the previous Neverwinter Nights series. The game ran closed beta in February of 2013 to April of 2013. So February 8th to February 14th, if you want to be that retentive and exact. And then open beta actually started April 30th of 2013. So here is how the gameplay kind of works. So you pick the character that you want. I am a half elf because I thought that was really cool. There's so many classes, guys, that you can play. It's insane. And what you do, it's based on the modified system of the Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition, set. So this includes the ability of, like, you're able to heal yourself. You have action points, or healing powers as they call it in D&D. You have dailies, so you perform special abilities by accumulating enough action points through combat. And a player created content system that's called the Foundry, which allows players to create their own stories and quests, which is really cool. So it feels like a sandbox almost. If you think about it, you can make your own quests. So it's really cool. So if you like games, of course, like Oblivion, if you like Dragon Age, that type of stuff, then this is going to definitely be right up your alley. So here's just a little bit of the characters and setting. So the setting for Neverwinter takes place in a time when the city is plunged into chaos. I mean, what medieval fantasy game wouldn't be caused into chaos? I mean, if something's normal in a medieval game, I mean, it's gonna be boring. Okay, so after all that, you know, the chaos and everything, and this is the cause of the chaos. The chaos is the disappearance of the last Lord of Neverwinter. Okay, and then in the aftermath of all of that, what ends up happening is the primordial fire elementals. They ended up almost destroying Neverwinter. And the remaining citizens and factions are pretty much fighting over this populace. So, or the city that they once called home. So this is just me paraphrasing stuff from the Wikipedia on it. And we'll also get some more opinions of how people feel about the game overall. So guys, are you ready? Hey, we got 2 people in here. How you doing? Flawless in the building? Well, hello there. Hello. The sexy beast have come in, finally. And we also have Digital Silence. So, interesting update. Digital Silence, what's up, man? He's explaining that Neverwinter is in the Humble Bundle right now, and you are actually looking at the game. Oh, you've never heard of Neverwinter Nights? Yeah, there's many like spin-off games in this D&D world. If you have a chance, guys, I will have a link below to Stephen Lynch's song called D&D, which is really funny. But yeah, it's good. This is gonna be fun. I love I like having a free head. It feels kind of nice. So, okay, so as you can see here, I'll be automatically logged out. We don't want that, so let's return the game. And everything's cool with this because the tutorial, it's D&D. Yeah, I like that song. It's so good. But this is crazy. I never thought I would get this nerdy. Like, I never thought. So the cool thing about this game is that, like, the voiceovers are fantastic. They're like, move with the WASD keys and like all this type of stuff. So let me know if I'm being super loud, because I'm noticing like my my levels are kind of going a little high here. So just let me know. So you move around with the mouse, of course. Look at the beautiful scenery of Neverwinter. Okay, so anywhere you see a diamond in your, if you see here in the upper right hand corner there, that means we need to move there and we need to go there. So let's go there and let's go talk to Private.
To Private Wilfred. Press F when close to talk to him.
Okay, so common sense, you want to press F.
Thank the gods.
And the voiceovers in this game, guys, are just, I enjoy them. They're hilarious.
You to Neverwinter in such troubled times.
Yeah, you know, I didn't have a choice. I just decided to show up with some gum, you know. I'm one of those half elves that's totally gonna be a dick. Alright, so let's check this out. And the cool thing about Neverwinter is you can pick what you want to do. I am going to check out Humble Bundle. Yeah, doesn't it? It does look familiar to Lord of the Rings Online. A horrible game, I have to say, because it crashed on me. Gag. Okay, so you can pick. It's pretty much like one of those choose your own adventures in a way, which is kind of cool. So let's take a look here. Let's see. Oh, I could be a real dick and be like, that's my business, but no. I would say, Neverwinter is my home.
I think. Not a very auspicious homecoming, is it?
No, it's not.
Neverwinter is under attack. The necromancer Valindra is assaulting the city with
that Valindra, she is something else. She is really, really ratchet.
It's dangerous to go unarmed right now.
Oh, really?
When you finish, head up to the camp at the top of the hill. They've got a nice warm fire up there. You'll feel better.
It's a nice warm fire. I don't know. That could be metaphor for something dangerous. Because you know how these fantasy games go.
Quest path leads to your next objective. Press Z to toggle it on and off.
Okay, so Z
to mark your quest objectives.
Helps you to figure out where the heck you're supposed to go. Okay, so anywhere you see that diamond, guys. Hey, we got 3 sexy friends in here. How you doing? How you doing? Speaking of how you doing, I did have a chance to watch R&B Divas. That was insane. Okay, so anywhere you see this check here, that's gonna be your waypoint.
Interact with characters and objects.
Alright, so let's hit F. Interacting. Ooh, breastplate. Sexy, sexy breastplate. Alright, got the shield. What else we got around here? No, I see it here. Look at that glow. It looks really important, right? Yeah. Alright, let's click on that.
Press I to open your inventory. Double click an item to equip it.
Alright, so common sense here. So double click, double click, double click. Huzzah.
Press the Alt key to toggle mouse cursor and
I
mouse
look
modes.
like important. There we go. So there's me with my shield, sexy half elf with the red hair. I do appreciate they have all different types of skin tones, so that's very smexy. But I decided to, you know, I like making my characters look a little bit like me if I was like supremely hot. Okay, so where is Thou Hast headed? Thou Hast is headed over here. But I should be over here. Okay, let's see here. Alright, and the map is kind of interesting because, I mean, this terrain is very open. I mean, this is insane. Okay, let's see where I'm headed now. Okay.
Campfires or rest zones were out of combat.
Alright, this is cool, guys. This is really cool. Okay, so campfires are rest zones, so you can heal. Okay, so when you finish a quest, turn it in. That's common sense. Nay! D94 says, yes. Well, yes to you too. Okay, let's see who the heck we need to talk to. I think we need to talk to this gentleman here with the question mark, because I think he looks important. Okay, so let's do that. Yeah, he's got some good facial hair, so that sounds good. All right, so let's hit that.
See someone survive the attack on the ship. When you feel ready, please.
When you feel ready. I like that voice. That's good. Okay, so let's complete the quest. All right, let's take on this one.
Main force, the battle is far from over.
Okay.
The battlefield is crawling with mindless undead.
I mean, everything has voiceover. This is so sweet. Nay D94, this is Neverwinter, or as some people call it, Neverwinter Online.
To lay the newly dead to rest. That is sure to
okay, so he's gonna keep talking. I'm gonna keep being smexy. Okay.
Could you search the battlefield for any wounded we missed?
Yes, I shall search the battlefield.
Damaging all foes in front of you.
Okay, so left click will be my attack here. So let's go after these turds.
Objects and enemies to target them.
Okay, so as you can see, this is gonna be your target point. So let's go after this zombie. Whoa, look at that. That was too easy. But from what I heard, this gets hard. Yeah, this is on PC. I'm just that dang good, man. No, I'm playing. I'm not that good. I die in like half of the games that I play, my friends. Like, it's insane. It's crazy. But guys, let me get you up to date with what's been going on with me. But yeah, I have my part 2 of my allergy test coming up, so we'll finally get to the bottom of what has been really aiding, you know, causing my, you know, just uncomfortableness with makeup. So we'll find out if I can wear makeup or not, which is really going to be awesome to find out. That will be for next week. But yeah, let's get into the business here, because Nay D94, he's laying it down. He's saying it like it is. He says that I think it's definitely cheaper to play on console. So let's get into this juicy topic. We're not gonna waste any time. Let's do this. Get down to the nitty gritty, right? Okay, so here's my 2 cents. Let me give you a story about my journey from console to PC. So I have always been a loyal, and I mean loyal, console player. I started, my first console I ever had, this will age me horribly, was I had the original NES, and I was playing games like Super Mario Brothers, you know, Ninja Gaiden, all that good stuff. And then I went from that to Super Nintendo, and I went all through those systems. You know, I grew up during that beat 'em up period, you know, and that was a very interesting time. Okay, so what the heck do I do here? Okay, so let's aid this soldier. Oh, I will be careful. I think you need to be more careful because you're gonna die. No. But, so from there, I went, you know, I was part of that beat up generation. So, you know, shout outs to Street Fighter 5, man. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get my hands on that too, darlings. It's gonna be a good time playing that. That's all I've been talking about. I'm like, Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 5. Like, that's all I have been talking about the last couple of weeks with my awesome buds. But yeah, it was insane. Like, those games were classics, man. They were such classics. You know, one of my favorite beat 'em ups that I really, really enjoyed was Double Dragon. And once I played Double Dragon, that was it for me. I was just like, I need more. And then others came out. I mean, of course, you know, many know, what was that other game too that was a really good beat 'em up? Oh man, I forgot. But there were so many beat 'em ups that came out, you know, during that time that I was growing up. And what ended up happening for me was, you know, with console, here's the pro with the console, okay? PC can get expensive, and during the time that I, you know, was growing up too, the consoles were at the same price that you would pay, you know, similar to paying like for, you know, the PS3 or even the PS4. And I think that's a pattern that's never gonna go away. I don't think that consoles are gonna die, because that's the first thing that I thought. Like once, you know, Dreamcast, for example, once the Dreamcast, you know, kind of faded really quick, that's when I was worried too about console. And then the other thing I couldn't stand is peripherals. It is a pain in the butt. Like with PC, you got your mouse, you have your keyboard, you may get a specialty kind of controller depending on the game that you're playing. But dang, it's like with console, that was my one complaint. It's like certain games you had, you know, you bought the game and then there was expansions and then you had to buy all those separate expansions. And that was really, really annoying. And then your whole, you know, unless you have the space for it, but like my whole entire house was covered in gaming peripherals, you know. And that was the thing I really didn't like. But I mean, man, I have always, you know, you guys know what my favorite console is. For Digital Silence has been in here, he should know what my favorite console is. I want to see what he's gonna say, what my favorite console is. But yeah, he has a very interesting perspective. He's mentioning that the PC Perspective Group has an interesting video on building a PC for gaming cheaper than the PS4 and Xbox One. I'm not so sure it has an easy yes or no answer. It all depends. Yeah, there is truth with that for sure. There is definitely truth with that. Just because it all depends on what type of games that you're playing. I mean, if you're playing stuff like, I would say, you know, Diablo 3, more lower graphic intensive games, then you don't need to have an $800 or $1,000 or $1,500 computer. No. But there are many sites too, which I'll get to, where you can get it pre-built. And see, there's the other conversation. You know, because that's the thing that kind of frustrates me about the PC gaming community too. It's all about authenticity. And what I mean by that is like pre-built versus building your own. And we'll get to that as well. So after I was playing consoles for a while, and my favorite console, because nobody answered that, but that's okay. You guys are new and some of you are old, but that's fine. Is the PS2. Love the PS2. I think I have over maybe 250 plus games for that. It is one of my favorite systems of all time. There might be some bias though, just because I am, you know, I lean more towards RPGs. You know, many people complain about that too on this stream, which is kind of funny. They're like, all you play is RPGs. And I'm just like, I play what I enjoy. Like, would you guys prefer? Okay, so space will make you jump. You know, yay, level 2. And it's like, would you prefer for me to like play games that I don't enjoy and I'm sitting here looking like a dingbat, you know? And it's like, no, I don't think anybody would want to do that, you know? It's kind of annoying. Alright, let's see here.
We were lucky to drive Valindra's forces back.
Yeah, we were very lucky.
Thank you for aiding the wounded.
Yay, experience points and money. Alright, let's...
I'm afraid I have a gruesome task.
I got a gruesome task for you. He sounds like a McLeod from, like, Highlander. So awesome.
Undead.
Oh, I'm hooked to this game now. It's so good so far. I'm liking it. It's rocking my patellas. Oh man, so good. It's giving me those sexy heebie-jeebies. Heebie-jeebs. Okay,
right,
so we gotta collect arrows.
To weaken and damage an enemy.
Alright. Okay, so right click and use Tide of Iron. Okay, so you can either take or take all if there's multiple items, so. Alright, let's see if they'll do it. Ooh, yes. Yeah, we got some new enemies here. This is cool. Okay. Alright, let's see. I think I have to talk to this gentleman. But I have to collect more arrows first, though. That is what is important. Arrow collecting is of the most important. But yeah, so once I got to like PS2, you know, we passed through the Dreamcast and all that. Wow, I actually, man... pretty cool. Alright, let's see what's going on here. All right, let's view my new power. Okay, so this is your skill trees here. So pretty general type stuff. Let's take a look here. All right, so I already have points already spent here, so okay, that's good. All right, so we already got that, so that's all good. All right, so Alt returns you to the game. So at least I like about this, it's explaining what you have to do, which is always good too. Well, I'm glad, Digital, that your console of your one of your favorites is PS2. That's really cool. Now, NayD94, thank you for being an intelligent person and actually explaining your arguments, because I can't tell you, one thing that irritates me as an intellectual person myself is when people cannot explain an argument. It's ridiculous. So let's see. NayD94 says, the reason why I said it's cheaper on console is because I currently have a PS4, which was like $400. Yeah, I think that is absolutely atrocious. With a couple games and maybe five or six maybe, and the cheapest decent pre-built PC you've seen is $1,000. Okay, here's the thing though, and this is where that argument comes from and why I switched over. So after like the PS2 Dreamcast period and we started getting into PS2, that's when I really started to see this increase in the price even more. And when I saw PS3s being around that same price, I was like, what? Infamous Commander Thorn says side face. I can't even do that. Like that. Okay. I look like I'm going to possess someone. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Okay. So let's continue collecting these arrows. We're almost there. Oh, well, finished it. Huzzah. But after that point, that was the breaking point for me, because I started collecting all these games and it was taking up all this space, and I'm like, I gotta do something. This is crazy. Games were everywhere. It was like toilet paper, man. It was insane. So what ended up happening was I just, I said, well, you know what? I had played games, back in the day. I used to play games like horrible games on the computer, like American Gladiators and stuff, which is just fun, to watch and stuff. But that's when PC gaming was not really, to me, that serious. It was not until, like, I would say, from reading, and doing research, like the 90s really kicked that off. Yes, I can read your text, Mr. Infamous. I see you. I see your text. But yeah, it was very interesting to me though, because I was like, wow, like in the 90s and like early 2000s, PC gaming like just exploded. I mean, it was insane. You had games like Wolfenstein, you had games like Doom and stuff, which still, old school, but I mean, you had the original Diablo and Fallout and like games that people, well, maybe our generation and now this upcoming generation, maybe some of them would know it, but some of these games are considered to be, timeless classics in my viewpoint. So after that, and we'll kind of fast forward into the 2000s. So then that's when I started saying to myself, I'm like, man, I am spending the same amount, and I know PC Master Race is going to be like, finally, you have joined our side. But I got to the point where I had peripherals all over the place. All these peripherals for some, not all, not to generalize, but some of these peripherals, man, the power pack, you had to plug it in, because like back in the day, man, you had to do that. It was annoying. You had to like plug it in, and then you would plug in the peripheral into another peripheral, and it was just like, come on, it was absolutely absurd. So what ended up happening for me was I said, you know what, I'm spending all this money on these peripherals. This is the same amount that I could spend and just get a gaming PC with all these games. But here's the thing that most people don't understand when you're getting the gaming PC. Here's the thing. You can listen to your friends, but at the end of the day, you have to make a conclusion of what works to your budget. Nothing makes me laugh more than someone who buys a $2,000 PC just to play Diablo 3 on it. And trust me, there are people out there who do that. And it's hilarious to me. It's like what I did was, luckily for me, and we're kind of going, yay, Infamous, thank you for following me. I appreciate it. Okay, so little opera there for you. That's how I actually won. I'm not even kidding you. I used to be in Girl Scouts. Well, you know, I was like super young. And that's how I won a talent show, was from doing that. It was crazy. But then again, I'm not even normal. Like, I'm pretty psycho. Okay. But no, it was interesting though. Yeah, it's true though, Digital Silence. Like, people will blow all this unnecessary money. I mean, if you have the means, kudos to you, darling. But I would not spend $2 grand just to play Minecraft or just to play Diablo 3. Like, what I did, and this was last year, kind of fast forwarding a little bit again, was I have a friend. He is awesome. He's great with building PCs, and you know, not everybody is blessed, so we'll talk about that, about pre-built versus custom built. And what ended up happening was I was talking to him my frustrations, because like when I started streaming, guys, you will not believe this, I was streaming on an HP laptop. That's how I started streaming. An HP Envy laptop with an AMD A8 processor. So, and AMD is great though. That, I mean, I'm actually going to be getting the R9 Radeon card. Their graphics card is pretty sweet. And yeah, that's how I started last year. Was I started with a laptop, and I just rocked and rolled with that. And yeah, it was crazy. Like, this graphics card I'm interested in now, and this is on the low end for graphics card. It is about, how much was it? It was like around 300, and that's on the low end. And at least with AMD, you know, where I'm getting it from, it does come with the lifetime, I think some type of lifetime warranty or something like that. But it was pretty sweet. And that's when I started making that decision. I was talking to my friend, you know, and he was just like, yeah, he's like, you may want to invest in a gaming PC, since you're buying all these games and stuff, and it's just really adding up. And I was blessed. He actually had a computer with a pretty, I mean, he said it was an older graphics card, because the first thing you want to do, let's get into that. Let's talk about advice, okay, in regards to that. And we got some good conversation going on in chat. I appreciate you guys are, you know, actually talking with intelligence. I really appreciate that. So I think this is who I have to talk to.
You found some ammunition. Excellent.
Interesting.
Please place the arrows in one of the barrels near the archers.
Okay.
We must drive the wizards back.
Okay. Okay. So I have to put these arrows in a barrel. Alright, objectives complete. Broken arrow. Alright, so we got that.
Thank you for the help. The red wizards haven't been driven away, but this will at least force them to keep their heads down.
Excellent. Alright, level 3! But yeah, guys, it was crazy. Okay, so I have leveled up. Let's see what I got. Oh, I got Lunging Strike. So that's cool. So let's check that out. Let's see what it does. So after I talked to him, well, no, let's talk about advice. So first things first, don't buy a PC because of fanboys or fangirls who tell you that this is superior and the best. Do your doggone research. You want to make sure that first thing you want to look at is, are you using this for long term or short term? Some people, they buy a gaming laptop because they just want something where they just turn it on, quick play, and be done. But if you're going to get into streaming, if you're getting into things like competitive gaming and you need those high specs, do all the research. Before I even bought my gaming PC, guys and ladies, and everybody, I did my research. the first thing my friend asked me was, what games are you going to play? I said Diablo. I said, what else did I say? I said Ran Online and Terra and all that. And we actually looked up these games. And once I looked up those games, then he was like, wait, I have a computer already built with this. Now, the graphics card is 2 years old, but this will do what you need. All you have to do is upgrade your graphics card. Then he told me about a website, and that's what kind of switched me over, because once I got Steam, guys, once I started going on eBay and Amazon, and I was looking up all these really cheap games for like half of the price. Now, don't get me wrong, with console, you can go to, you know, whether it's GameStop or, guys, please support your local, you know, gaming stores as well. And once I started going there, I started, for me, this is just my experience, I started saving more money when I switched over to PC. You know, and then they have wonderful websites you can go to, like, for example, G2A.com, okay? And you can get games off of there, and they have, you know, always do comp shopping. Don't just go to one place, buy your stuff, and that be the end of it, you know? And for me, I was lucky because I had a friend who already built PCs, so he had one already built, and that's how I got this. This is actually the computer I'm using to stream right now.
More undead
but what was really interesting to me, though,
out of Castle Never
is
and storming the
there are
Dragon
challenges.
Bridge.
Okay, we'll get into that
they
too.
Will enter the heart of the city,
there are
protect
challenges with streaming,
with
you know, with streaming with a PC. Is first, if you don't have the right peripherals and you don't know how to set, you know, OBS, you're kind of screwed. Not gonna lie. On top of that too, when I switched over to PC, a lot of times you're dealing, just like with console, you have backwards compatibility issues. So for example, I wanted to play this lovely game, Sims Life Stories, and what ended up happening was it wouldn't play for some reason. And I've come to find out that there was a compatibility issue, so I had to switch over the compatibility, and then it started playing for me. So as you upgrade your PC, you want to make sure that you're upgrading it according to maybe the games that you're playing. Some people use their, and here's the other thing, are you using your gaming PC for just gaming exclusively or streaming, or are you using it for multi-purpose, such as, let's say, you're doing your homework, gaming, and all that? I personally, this is just me, if you can afford it, because when you start, most people, I tell them, you know, $500 to $600 will get you pretty decent stuff. Like, I would say pretty decently. You can also check, but here's the thing, there's a risk with refurbished parts, but you can get refurbished stuff, whether it's from your, you know, your friends have already used it, that type of stuff, and you can get that as well. And okay, let's see. So someone's, well, Nay D94 says, what do you think of an i5 6400 with a GTA 970? Now, the GTA 970 is a good graphics card from NVIDIA, though. I mean, yeah, people like, you know, the 970 I've noticed has been pretty staple. i5 is pretty decent, you know, but I will say, if you're gonna get into games like any AAA release games too, I would say go i7. And it doesn't matter whether or not, I mean, if you want to go AMD, that's fine. But most of the time when it comes to processors, and this is just from the conversations I've had with my friends too, many say go with the i7 if you can. Now you are gonna get a jump in price. I've seen the jump between like maybe 200 to 300 for it. Just depends. But guys, there's a site, and that's what kind of helped me, because I'm even looking into building my own PC in the future and trying it out and learning how to do it correctly. But there's a website called PCPartPicker.com, and you can actually go on there, and people, I tell you, the PC gaming community is like the automotive community too. You guys and ladies love showing off your builds. You love one-upping each other too. It's ridiculous. Like my friend, he just got like a $500-600 card, and then he just went back and got another one. Okay, so since Nay brought up pre-build versus custom build, let's talk about that. Okay, so pre-build means that it's already set, ready to go. You turn it on, you install your programs or whatever you're gonna do with it, and you are good to go. You know, custom build is gonna be more tedious, I say, because if you're not familiar with how computers work and the components that will optimize the setup that you're trying to do. So let's break down the terms for those of you who are like non-nerdy people, because I try to represent for, you know, different perspectives here. So a build is pretty much the computer itself, and when it's like complete, or build can also mean the parts that you're putting into it to have the finished product. The other thing that you have to consider too with pre-build is what you see is what you get. Sometimes, you know, make sure that if you are gonna do pre-built stuff and you're getting it from, you know, a company, there's many companies that sell stuff such as like iBuyPower and you know, MSI. There's so many companies out there. Make sure that you read their return policies, that type of stuff. When you're doing PC gaming, if you can afford it, I highly recommend getting insurance. Like, you can get like warranties and stuff on your computer, so I highly recommend that. Oh, you got to eat dinner? All right, well, I see you. You come back real soon now. I'm stupid with you guys, but I love you guys, so you know, it's all good. But getting back into it, make sure you check their warranty, because the warranty may not include all the parts within the pre-built computer. It may only represent maybe just your graphics card or the tower, the actual physical tower. So you want to make sure you check that out, definitely. Now, there are many companies that do have pre-built stuff. I haven't bought anything with iBuyPower and stuff like that. So also you want to make sure, do review, you know, research reviews. Now, reviews, don't take them, you know, so literal. Make sure that you actually, like, you know, put your own 2 cents into it. You know, it's like when you go on Amazon, right, and you know, see those reviews that are so extremeness, you're like, yo, you know,
to charge at your
it's
enemy
crazy.
with a lunging strike.
Oh, lunging strike. Okay, let's check this dude out. Oh my gosh, that was insane. That thing came out of nowhere. But yeah, that's something I would say it's important to consider, guys, when the pre-build is you want to make sure that all the components in there, you're happy with it. Now, I will say with PC gaming, you do have an advantage if you educate yourself on what you have in your computer or what type of build that you're trying to do. Because that will prevent you from getting ripped off too. Because a lot of times people will build a computer, right? And they, you know, some people will assume that you don't know, so they'll say all this complicated stuff just to get you to buy it. So, you know, PC gamers are some of the most intelligent gamers that I have seen, okay? You know, they don't play when it comes to that. So, okay, so Nay D94 says, can I post a link to see what you think of this pre-build? Well, you can describe it to me. The only reason why I don't do links, guys, I apologize for this, is just because people are, you know, I'm not saying you, but people have been really kind of messy, you know, and I ended up, I'm not even kidding you, I ended up getting a virus in my computer. So, you know, I can't trust people like that anymore, unfortunately. And that's really sad, because I should, because you guys are my audience, you know. But because people like to, well, some people like to, you know, be messy like that, that's why I don't accept links anymore. But yeah, you can definitely describe it to me, and then I can let, you know, I can give you my 2 cents on it and let you know what I think about it. Okay, so we got water up in here. Okay, let's see, where are we headed? I think I am going the wrong way. I think he's up here. Typical MMO directional flaw right here. Okay, let's check what Mr. Private Wilfred has to say.
Hello again.
Hello again. Well, nice to meet you, sir. But the other thing though with pre-builds though, I will say this, is it's not a bad thing if you match up what you're going to be using it for. So my computer that I got from my friend, technically it's custom built, but it's, in a way, I also considered it pre-built in a way because, you know, I got it from him already in the condition that it was in, you know. And you want to make sure that if you are, the other method too for pre-builds, you can get it from, you know, a company that specializes in custom builds, and you can actually, you know, they call it like the build your own PC. But that's where PC gaming or a gaming PC or PCs in general can get pricey, is because then you have all these little bells and whistles and stuff like that. Okay, so let's take a look at Nay's build here. Okay, so the processor, and I want you guys' opinions on this as well. Processor is an Intel 5 6400 with 2.7 gigahertz quad-core Skylake CPU graphics card, which is the Asus Strix NVIDIA GTX. Well, the CPU is the Asus Strix, and GTA, or pardon me, GTA. I got my friends, we were talking about that all day. So you'll have to pardon me on that. But the graphics card is an NVIDIA GTX 970, and okay, and GDR5. Okay, so to me personally, that GTX 970 is awesome. I mean, that's gonna be pretty decent for most games. A lot of people like to go up to the next one. I think it's the 980, if I'm correct. See, I'm still learning all this myself too. But that, for many people have said, it's pretty much overkill if depending on what you're gonna play. Now the i5 is pretty good. If you can, I would recommend, if you can afford it, to go up to the i7. You're gonna get a lot better processor with more higher end games like Witcher and Fallout and that type of stuff. So I would say maybe bump up the processor if you can. I would say stick with Intel, because from my experience, I've had better experience with Intel over my AMD processors per se. And there's a little bit more of a better speed latency, but this excludes stuff like overclocking and that type of stuff. Oh, also as a disclaimer, do not overclock if you do not know what you're doing, because you can damage your processor, just saying. And your graphics cards as well. Now I would say the CPU is pretty decent too. I mean, I think it's a pretty decent pre-build, but I would say if you can get an i7 with a 970 in it too. Another thing too, just to be careful of too, is people do sell their pre-built computers on places like eBay and Amazon, as well as online like classifieds and stuff like that. Make sure you do your research, because you could get a pre-build and it doesn't work the way that you want it to work. Okay, you just have to be careful, especially if you're using like the newspaper to buy a computer too, because you can get scammed. I mean, not everybody's gonna be honest. Okay, let's just be real. But yeah, I would say it's pretty decent. I'd say that's a pretty decent. I mean, I'm jealous the 970 in there. I mean, you guys will not, you probably will laugh, I have an NVIDIA GTX 280 in this computer. That's a pretty old card. I mean, it's a couple years old. But I would also say too, Nay, that I would take that around and ask a whole bunch of people what they think, and then at the end of the day, you're gonna be living with that computer, so you want to make sure that you're happy with that when you're going the pre-build route. Now, I will say the custom build route, the first thing you want to look at is your budget. I mean, I know for me, my budget was like $500-600, which for many people that's more on the lower end, because a decent PC now will cost you maybe around like $600 and up. What I will do to help you guys out is I will leave links of some really good people also who give really good gaming advice. Some of my favorite people that I like TechSource. I like Linus Tech Tips. Like, I have a mega crush on him, I swear. Like, if I ever met him, I'd be like, thank you for being so fine. And then I would say from the gaming standpoint, I like the Completionist. I can't forget my lady gamers. I love Melanie Mac. I think she's probably one of the realest female gamers I've seen in quite some time. Also, I know it's going to be biased, but I don't care. I really, really, really like Lady Miss 80s Gaming. That is my girl. She's like a sister to me. I love her to death. Also, Just J to J as well. You know, and these are not people for like tech advice, but just some of my favorite kind of gamers as well that I enjoy too. I would say for gaming advice as well, I love, or I would say tech advice, I love Twitch. This Week in Tech is excellent. I also like, I completely forgot. Oh man, you're gonna get me into trouble, Nate. This AMD versus Intel battle. Processors wise, my friend, we were talking about this. I tend to lean more to Intel because I've had a better experience with it. AMD, they make pretty decent processors. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, we have DevMall44, Leo Laporte. Yes, the tech guy. I enjoy his shows as well. I also, I'm gonna find, because I like including women in this conversation, because the thing that really irritates me too is about the tech world sometimes is people tend to just think it's a man's game and that's it. Like there's no other voices that can be included, you know, minorities as well. Like we can't be included in the you know, in the conversation. Joanne Tech Lover, I also like her videos too. I enjoy how she like feels about like her opinions on things as well. But there are a lot of really good people on YouTube, so I will have to make a list of people below that are some of my personal favorites that I really enjoy. But yeah, I really like Joanne Tech Lover. Oh, I also like there's so many people that I watch, guys, it's like insane. But there are some really good people out there that give, and once again, as a disclaimer, I'm just giving advice according to my experience. So don't go out and buy stuff because I like it. Go out and buy it because you like it as well. Now, after you figure out all that jazz, right, let's get into gaming peripherals. So for those of you who don't use those complicated terms, peripherals are your accessories, similar to, like, you can use peripherals as well with console gaming. So let's see what's going on here. All right, let's get that. Yes, thanks. Let's hurry. Let's see here. So we gotta travel to the bridge. See what's okay. So why is it? Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, so let's travel.
Visible location to travel to it.
Let's see. Is this a battlefield? Okay, so we're at the battlefield. Okay, so let's go to the Sleeping Dragon Bridge. Okay, let's go do that. Yeah, Kim Commando 2 Tech Goddess is really good as well. I've checked out some of her stuff as well.
They're in trouble.
Absolutely.
We must go to their aid.
She's really, really good. Another person too I really like, he does these like computer showdowns. I forgot his name. It's so bad. But yeah, those would be just a couple favorites of mine. I would say, well, I'll make a separate episode just on like my favorite streamers and why. I know that's gonna be a hot mess, but hey, I say it like it is. But yeah, I'm really liking Neverwinter. I thought this was gonna be a bad game just because like people, I hate when people hype stuff up. What the heck? What the heck? Whoa, okay, yeah, I was like, I totally lost a lot of life there.
Look out, archers!
Oh shoot. Alright, let's make sure we're doing this right. Oh, yeah, how could I be so stupid? I totally got myself hurt there. There we go. Man. There we go. I think I'm doing okay. But once you figure out all that jazz, like I said, the peripherals, there's a couple of options you can go. I mean, PC gaming wise, well, I mean, for me, I've always been a fan of Pelican. For my console-based stuff, I really like. Let's see what's up here. Okay, this Zen Market. I kept seeing this thing flash, and I was like, "What the heck?" Okay, let's go. Let's do this. Man, this combat in this game is intense. Like, I was not expecting it to be this intense. I really was not. I didn't even know the private was even behind me. So we gotta fight our way to the gatehouse here, and I am just getting my butt reamed. Hey, we got Chud Beach here. Whoa, WTF, a gorilla doing a game? I know, I am the hairiest gorilla of them all, and if you really want to see that, just let me know. I'm kidding. Oh, I'm horrible. Yes, hairy armpits is very attractive, let me tell you. So I appreciate your sarcasm joke. It was pretty good. All right, let's see here. We're still fighting our way, but yeah, the combat's pretty decent in this game, I will say. It's got, like, just like what Digital Silence was saying earlier, it's definitely got that Lord of the Rings feel. Another game I think I'm gonna play for you guys too is Shadow of Mordor, but I'm trying to stomach the blood, man. There's so much blood in that game. It's like insane, man. It's totally crazy. I would also say, kind of going back into it, guys. Whoa! Yes, level 4. I leveled up quite quickly. I was not expecting that. Okay, so we got a new shield talent.
You can activate your daily power when your action points are full.
Okay, that's interesting. So your action points have to be... Whoa, I totally clicked out of the game. I am an idiot, guys. How hilarious is that? I totally exited out of the game here. So I'm going to come back, and then we're going to finish up with part 2 of this. So I am an idiot. Oh, gosh. All right, I'll be back, guys.